In this video, we're going to show how to solve two-step equations by using inverse operations. We're going to do an easy question, and then we're going to do a question that is a little bit more tricky. In order to use inverse operations, we first want to think about what are the regular operations going on in the question? What are we doing to x? Okay, so what are we doing to x? Well, order of operations says that we would first multiply the number x by this 3. That's what this is. And that then after that, we would take whatever that answer is and then subtract 12. And that would be the second step that we would do to x. The idea here is that inverse operations mean we do the inverse of these steps and we go in the opposite order. So we're going to start with this subtract 12. The inverse is that we would add 12 to both sides. So that's like this, plus 12 on this side of the equal sign. And plus 12 on the other side of the equal sign so that the equation stays balanced. We didn't do anything to 3x, so keep 3x. Negative 12 plus 12 cancels out. That's why we did it, to move this to the other side. And then 3 plus 12 is 15. Now that we've done that step, we can do the inverse of multiplying by 3, which is to divide both sides of the equation by 3, making sure to do both sides so that it stays balanced. So we'll divide by 3, divide by 3. 3x divided by 3 is x. 15 divided by 3 is 5. So we solved using inverse operations. We added 12 to both sides. Then we divided both sides by 3, and we got x equals 5. Now what we need to do is plug in 5 to make sure that our answer was correct. So I can rewrite my equation, but I'm going to leave parentheses where the x is, 3x minus 12 equals 3. And we're going to substitute in x equals 5, because that's what we got for our value of x. And we're going to see if it works. So now we go in this order, multiply by 3, and then subtract 12. So 5 times 3 is 15. 15 minus 12 is 3. Because this came out 3 equals 3, that means we did this correctly. We checked it and it's correct. So now I'm going to turn to question number . No, I'm going to do example 2. That's fine. I'll do example 2. Example 2, negative 1/3 times x plus 2 equals 8. So what do we do to x? Well, first we multiply it by negative 1/3. Then we take that answer and we take that answer and then add 2 to that answer. So now in order to solve for what x is, we'll go in the opposite order. We'll do the inverse of adding 2 to x, which is to subtract 2 from both sides of the equation. Minus 2 minus 2. We get negative 1/3 times x equals, let's see, 2 minus 2 is canceled. That's why we did it. Then 8 minus 2 gives us 6. So that's step 1 done. Subtract 2 from both sides. For step 2, what we need to do is multiply by the reciprocal of -1/3. That's the wrong color. This is the color. So the reciprocal of -1/3 is -3. And that's why you see multiply both sides by -3/1 as the second step. We're going to put this over 1 because of the multiplying fractions here. Over here, we don't actually need it to be over 1. We just have the number 6. So we could just not write it as a fraction on this side. All right, now let's multiply. -3 times -1 is 3. 1 times 3 is 3. So this is 3/3 times x. Now you probably know that 3/3 is 1. So this is 1x. And when I have 1x, I don't need to write the number 1. I could, but I don't have to. I can just write x. Now on the other side, 6 times -3 is -18. So it looks like our answer is x equals -18. Now we'll check it to see if it's right by substituting. So we'll say -1/3 multiplied by x plus 2 equals 8. Then the x that we got was -18. So we'll substitute in -18 right here. And because -1/3 is a fraction, let's make -18 a fraction by putting it over 1. Okay, now let's multiply. These are fractions. -1 times -18 is +18. In the denominator, 3 times 1 is 3. Now, 18 divided by 3 is 6. Finally, 6 plus 2 is 8. So we did that correctly. We checked it. So remember, when you are solving by using two-step equations by using inverse operations, first, think about what you're going to do to x. Start with what is closest to x, and then work your way out. Then, when you're figuring out the inverse operations, remember to go in the reverse order. So whatever came last in the steps for what you do to x comes first for the inverse when you solve. Nice job.